Alright. Alright, folks, Hero of None here. Doing the same thing everyone else has been doing since the Dark Brotherhood announcement first look. Going over the notes on a webpage. Yay! So, we're going to take a look at a few things here. Just kind of review what's going on with the first looks here. And just, go over the new video here, what we can see. Okay, so Dark Brotherhood DLC game pack features and content. Join the Dark Brotherhood and become Assassin for Hire. Well, this is something they've always been telling us for a while now, so that's nothing too new. Visit the Gold Coast, available to the characters of all levels, where you can explore Anvil and Kvatch for the first time since Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Well, they told us that was coming too. Nothing new there. Anvil and Kvatch are the new areas, and like every other DLC, they're going to be battle leveling. So as soon as you get out of your story mission, or that first tutorial, you're going to be able to go to this area if you want to. You can either buy it through the DLC most likely, or you can go ahead and get ESO Plus and just enter it whenever you want. Hours of exciting new story content and questing that you'll have to revisit in your favorite areas of Tamriel. My guess on that might be that they take some of the questing and they're going to branch it out into certain areas. They could also do some Radiant questing like they did with the Thieves Guilds, where you have to go and pickpocket from certain areas, kill people in certain areas. Very similarly to that. New repeatable quests involving... Okay, Radiant quests again. New repeatable quest content involving the contracts and the Black Sacrament. So, Radiant quests, again, go out to probably kill people in, I don't know, like Daggerfall, go over and kill people in... Aradon, they're basically doing the same thing that they did with the Thieves Guild thieving quest. They're basically giving you a reason to go off to some of these older areas that you might have already completed, kill a target, get yourself out of there, and have some fun. Challenging new groups and challenging new group bosses and delves to conquer. Not sure what they mean by group bosses. When you take a look at the other content, they always call it world bosses for a lot of that stuff. So if you're taking a look at like Rothgar or Thieves Guild DLC, those big monster icons they have to fight with a group, those are usually called world bosses. Group bosses kind of indicates a new dungeon boss, maybe. I'm shooting from the hip there on that, but we'll hopefully be able to see with this. New delves to conquer does not mean new dungeons. That just means the standard area is probably going to have new delves to go into. New passive and skill lines to exclusive to members of the Dark Brotherhood. Okay, so they're not giving us active abilities, they're giving us passives, and this is what we saw with the Thieves Guild as well. They give us passive skills that were specific to that DLC and what you did in that DLC. That makes sense because if you have a skill line, like new active abilities as part of the DLC, people are kind of... If it's like a really powerful ability, people are probably going to bitch about it. Like, why is this going to be on pay to win? Because you have to buy this DLC to go and do this thing inside and get like 1,000 DPS and extra for something else. So, I can understand why it's passive skills. More likely it's going to involve something like with the assassinations. But they have new stuff coming out here as well that's going to be in the next area here. Unique costumes, motifs, items, and sets inspired by the deadly Dark Brotherhood. We'll see what this is. Probably going to be the Morag Tong. I think we saw hints of that earlier. We may see something like Bone Chitin armor, which would be more to the Dunmer area, but I'm not entirely certain. We'll go over to the video here a little bit, see what we can see. Now, base game patch features and content. The removal of veteran ranks. This is going to be a big one, guys. This is going to be where we see a lot of the people complaining, well, I just got some of this, vet rank 16, what's going on? But at the same time, it's going to be a lot easier for a lot of players, who've been looking to get this out of the way. It's also going to have other implications, I think, as well, because when you get rid of the veteran ranks, that also means that the gear restrictions are going away too, and it's going to instead now possibly be on the champion points. That's at least what was mentioned before, but I can't say for certain if it is or isn't until we see what's happening, because they say one thing in an interview and they come back and they find out they can't do it inside of their internal testing, so they make changes and then it kind of changes later when we see it in the actual implementation. We'll see, but more than likely the veteran ranks getting removed means the champion system is now going to take over for that, and that as soon as you hit 50, all those veteran rank characters are now the top level that they can be, and you have a whole bunch of champion points. I am hoping though that they give back some champion points to people who have multiple V16s, or like you have a V16, a V2, a V3. Like, I don't know, give a champion point at least per per veteran rank. That makes sense to me, but we'll see what they do. Poison making. For those who are now who want to be especially nasty to their enemies. This is something that was suggested a while ago. They said that they were considering it, and now they're actually implementing it, which is kind of good. This also means that some of the other alchemy ingredients are probably going to be more useful, and they may actually introduce new alchemy ingredients. My guess is they're going to introduce new alchemy ingredients to handle some of this, because currently the usually when they get in new stuff or new DLC, they add in new stuff as well to make sure that people don't just stack up at the day one to have everything. So expect to see some new collectibles in there too. Toggleable nameplates for all characters. That's probably something that's going to be more for console to help you guys see who's who, but I wouldn't be surprised if they include it with the PC as well. Character name display for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Yep. Item locking to help prevent accidental deconstruction of most valuable items. Yep, that's something that's been talked about for a while now. We have a couple add-ons that do it on PC, but of course you don't have that when you're on console, and it's really risky for certain people who aren't paying attention to what they're doing. Further improvement and new features to the grouping tool, including group ready check, vote to kick system, and update queue timer. Okay. The group ready check is good. Probably going to be good for console, especially. Vote to kick systems. That's going to be, I don't know. That's going to be highly subjective in certain cases there, I feel, because anytime you have a vote to kick system, sometimes you get people that are just assholes, and like you could be like fighting the last boss, and they could do a vote kick system right when you're at the last boss, just to be like, dick people over. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. I'm hoping people are going to be mature adults about it, but, I mean, let's be honest. This is the internet. People have anonymity, so they're going to do dickish things. And the new updated queue timer, which means that they are fixing some of the queues that are just, like, showing, like, oh, you only have 5-minute wait, and it's, like, an hour later. It really sucks on that. Tons of updates to the Crown Store, including additional character slots, motif previews, and hats. Okay, so they're adding in some new stuff. Basically, new cosmetic stuff. That's nothing that big. Crafting bags for ESO Plus members. This is nice. So if you're an ESO Plus member, I can now give you another reason to keep your ESO Plus, which is basically you don't have to keep everything into your bank or your alts to get your stuff there. You can actually go ahead and harvest and just put it into a crafting bag, and hopefully it's not going to have a limit. Guild Wars 2 had something very similar to this, but they had limits on there, so we'll have to see what that's going to be like. Improvements and adjustments to item traits. I'm hoping this means that they get rid of, like, well, I've been really harping on certain things there and how it would change them, but like, get rid of don't necessarily get rid of exploration, but like change exploration up to be more of like, okay, exploration gives you more experience for finding places, more experience for fighting monsters, and maybe more experience for doing quests. Stuff like that. Maybe consolidating some of them as well would be helpful, but I don't exactly know how that would affect some of the current, like, crafted items. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with that. Ongoing Cyrodiil performance improvements. I would like to say that, I'm hoping this is going to be a major update to it, but they're doing incremental stuff. They're going to be working on Cyrodiil for a long time to get it improved. They are making marked changes to it. As they go along, they're making small changes here, which is improving it, but it's very slow for a lot of the PvP people who have been waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm hoping that this is going to be another major improvement, like they added in with some of the recent changes on that, but we'll have to see. Sanctum Ophidian trial scaling, rebalancing for the additional of normal and veteran mode. This is going to be good, but at the same time, I'm kind of wondering what it means between normal and veteran mode, because currently Sanctum only has a normal mode. It does not have a veteran mode. So that means they're probably going to see a mana core that has like an additional 200 million health or something. I don't know. But they're probably going to make it much more difficult. A lot of people are also asking, why aren't they doing this for AA or Hellra? Well, honestly, Sanctum has a better gear set. In addition to that, like not the scathing mage, I can't even remember what they are anymore. I haven't used them in so long, but Sanctum basically gives an improved version of the Hellra and the AA stuff. And in addition to that, I think they also want to make sure that AA doesn't become like over abused and over camped again because of things like Warlock rings and all this other stuff that used to be like the big meta for mana regeneration. Right now, it's more of like the Archmage and such, but you know, I can see why they're keeping it to Sanctum on this currently. Maybe we'll see something with those getting improved too, but I'm happy with them just updating Sanctum and getting a normal and a veteran mode to that. Balance improvements to combat and gameplay abilities, including the Fighter's Guild skill line, vampires, and stamina abilities, and more. So they're updating the Fighter's Guild skill lines and vampires and stamina abilities. I'm hoping that, for one, vampires are finally going to get their frickin' fangs. I'm crying out loud. It's one of the first suggestions I ever put on the forums there. And it seems to be every not ESO, every TES game, they forget the fangs, they add them in like a year or two later, and then they frick it up. So we'll see how that is. Fighter's Guild skill line, I'm hoping that they, well, I would hope that on the Fighter's Guild skill line, that they get rid or drop the undead portion of it, or at least make it so that it's doesn't count them or player vampires anymore. Drop Fighters Guild. Okay, here's how I would change Fighters Guild on this and how to make it like a more balanced system on this. Drop Fighters Guild skill lines from damaging werewolves and vampires. Make another skill line or another group to join called the Vigilant of Stendar, and you can choose to either join the Vigilant of Stendar, which doesn't accept vampires or werewolves. You can join a vampire, or you can join the werewolves. And based on those three, now you have a balance that you can actually manage it. So you don't have like a vampire that also has Dawnbreaker, which like will kill his fellow vampires. You know, you get a strength with a vampire, but a Vigilant Stendar can really mess you up as well. That's where I see a better balance on that. But we'll have to see what happens with that eventually. And of course, more. In addition to the numerous changes, the improvement for the Furious DLC game packs now includes a new district capture system for Imperial City and rebalancing the Imperial City dungeons. So I don't know what the rebalancing is going to be, but the capture system for Imperial City is going to be interesting. This is something I was really hoping for back when it came out. I'm hoping that it's going to be something that is also going to be restrictive to the districts, but it's probably not going to be, unfortunately. In my opinion, what could have been really, 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 really fun inside Imperial City would have been to make each one of the districts a separate battleground or arena. Have it so only 20 people can enter that battleground at a time, and then you can have like a 60-way fight, maybe 12-way fight, depending on, you know, numbers or something like that. But basically make it so like only a certain number of people can get in there at a time. And then, you know, after they die off, then another person can hop in, but, you know, not everyone can jump in as a Zerg to fight everything, you know. And then that's kind of what they do. But unfortunately, they didn't go with that. We'll have to see what it's going to be like. I'm hoping it's going to be something a little bit not Zergish at the very least, but we'll have to see. They keep on pushing this open world PvP system. They have plans to work on battlegrounds and arenas at some point, but we'll have to see. Now, on to Elder Scrolls Dark Brotherhood first look. Let me make sure this is currently showing up. Yep, it is. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and watch this.
Peggy 18.
Oh, and let's turn this up as well.
Welcome, Initiate.
He's going to pick his nose.
Know this. In Tamriel, no one is safe. Especially from us.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me.
So we get a short clip there. Let's go ahead back and mute this for a minute here. Take a look at a few things here. Okay, so we have this first area right here. I think this is Kvatch. I could be wrong. I don't think it's... Is it Anvil or Kvatch? We'll have to see. So, this is the new guy here. As you can see, the Dark Brotherhood little badge there. Seriously, what assassin carries his own badge on his, like, cloak? Oh, well. As you can see here, he's trying to pick his nose, but he doesn't want to show it in front of us. So, he's just waiting. Here we see the Night Mother statue relief. So, the Night Mother at this point has already been... Like, she's already transgressed into the void at this point. If this is the case. Because you see her, you see all these other people down here. Don't know if this is the Night Mother as well, but we'd have to see. Dark Brotherhood sign there. Go away suggestions. I don't care. We get some stuff here. I don't exactly remember who this is. I'll have to take a look and see. It seems familiar, but... Yeah, this guy looks brutal here. He's got a sword in one hand. Oh, wait. Is this Sithis? This might be Sithis, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't take me for... don't take me as being accurate on that. But, yeah, this looks like Sithis, and this looks like Argonian architecture, too. This is more than likely Kvatch again. We're seeing that other side from the church side here. Coming up on a guard. Whoa, wait. Is that a butt flap? Yeah, we got a butt flap right there. Look at that thing. Now, let's look at this. Look at that blood spray. Let's go back. Look at that blood spray right there, guys. That is how you earn an MA rating right there. Also, notice, this is also, this was shown way back when the game hadn't even come out yet, back before it was even in beta. They had shown things like this, where you're coming up to a guy, you come up behind him, you sneak, and then you slice his frickin' neck. Okay? They showed this way back then. Now they're finally got to get into Dark Brotherhood. I'm happy to see that, but we're going to have to see some stuff with that. It looks nice. And then, of course, blood will flow. Why don't they say we know? Okay. Maybe we don't actually assassinate somebody and they come and, like, tattle on us. And here's a link to go read all this stuff here. Included with active ESO Plus membership or available for Crown Store purchase. Okay, so, again, you can read all about this here. It's on the Elder Scrolls site here. Dark Brotherhood First Look. Oh, and I was missing this little burb here. If you think you're deadly enough to join the ranks of the Dark Brotherhood, you should sneak into the Cyrodiil room at the PAX East this weekend at Boston. So, this weekend, go to Boston there and they can show it. This is on 4/21 right now. We'll be showcasing some of the new exclusive video clips and the latest updates, which means if any of you are going here, people watching this video, people in chat, please take video clips and then upload them to YouTube and send them to us, like, you know, secretly. We'll enjoy it, please. And also we'll have the ESO developers present in the panels and activities, which I can imagine if anyone's playing ESO, they'll probably all be going like, oh my god, when are you going to fix PvP? Why can't you do this? Seriously, guys, just enjoy yourself at PAX. And you can also read more about the ESO community headquarters at PAX here. Okay. Be on the lookout for additional information about the Dark Brotherhood after we return from PAX East next week. So basically, they're giving us this teaser, and then next week we're going to be seeing it. Well, it's 4/21 now. My guess is that since they usually have about a month of testing ahead of these things, we saw like March was when we got the Thieves Guild, and then of course it got released was it February? Yeah, February was when we got it. March was when it was released. Now we've gotten through April, so my guess is that it's probably going to be in beta by May. So month of May is probably going to be testing for Dark Brotherhood, or at least halfway through somewhere. We'll have to see. But hey, hope you guys like this. This is a little highlight here. You're probably going to see a whole lot of other people doing this as well. Go ahead, take a look at their videos. They'll probably have a whole lot more like, oh my god, yay, yay, yay. But this is basically a blue collar look at it. So if you have any questions about this, well, hopefully we'll see it more about it in the few weeks. Tune in later. We'll probably have it on the PTS here, and we'll test it out, let you guys know how it is. In the meantime, meow, meow, meow.